What is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a new video, a new type of content. As some of you may know, the NFL Draft is actually coming up on Thursday, April 23rd. The first round, and due to coronavirus, it's now on virtual through Zoom and stuff like that. However, me and my friend Connor and my friend Matthew, we're going to go through a couple of the picks. The first round, there'll be 3 videos to this, and it'll be kind of in a podcast style with highlights laid over it. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy this type of content, and big thanks to them for helping me out with this video, and we'll get right into it.
All right, so we're here with the mock draft with Connor and Wettham, and we're up on the number 1 pick. I think Burrow for Cincinnati is a good pick.
Yeah. Burrow was the Heisman winner, obviously, AP Player of the Year. Not a lot of holes in his game. Great pocket passer. He has the highest prospect grade for a quarterback since Luck, and really is just a home run for the Bengals at number 1. They need a quarterback, and this pick is pretty much locked in at this point.
Yeah, he ran a pro-style offense at LSU. He had a ton of weapons, but he threw for over 5,600 yards last season, led his team to a national championship, 7 touchdowns in the first game of the college football playoff against Oklahoma. I think what makes him so special is his ability to move outside the pocket and make throws on the run. He does some of the things Carson Wentz does on the move, big body. I think it's a lock at number 1 overall.
Yeah. Even if he's not the best player in this draft, with either Chase Young or Soons or someone else being rated slightly higher prospect-wise at a premium position in quarterback to the Bengals is...
Yeah, the Bengals, after moving on from Dalton, they need a quarterback at this point. So.
They have no choice, and they proved that the backup just had no shot at doing anything.
For his name. All right, so number 2, Connor, you want to go with that?
Yeah, so again, this is a pretty home run pick with Chase Young to the Redskins. He's widely regarded as the best pass rusher in this draft and overall prospect as well. He's athletic, can do a lot, and very few holes in his game generally. The only hole would be against the run, but as an edge rusher, there's not really that much to complain about. And it's going to be hard for the Redskins to pass up. They hired Ron Rivera in the offseason, and Chase Young's a home run at this pick, and Ron Rivera's defensive-minded, so I really see this as Chase Young at number 2.
Yeah, many people would think that Chase Young is the best prospect in this draft, even maybe better than Burrow, but obviously Burrow's a quarterback. Young had 16.5 sacks last season, and especially in this day and age when passing is such a big thing these days, getting to the passer is so important. Teams are willing to take pass rushers early in the draft. He had a great season last year at Ohio State.
Finished 4th in Heisman voting.
Yeah, and especially for a defensive player to come that high in Heisman, that's a good thing.
Athletic specimen, too, at 6'5", 265. Great pass rusher off the edge. Even a better prospect than either of the Boses.
He's an obvious pick in my mind. One option, though, just to play the devil's advocate, is Washington still has a pretty... They're struggling right now in the quarterback position, because in my mind, Dwayne Haskins was an absolute bust. So there could be an option there of maybe I put down possibly a trade with New York, because New York could benefit from a guy like Chase Young. But I think, especially as you said, Ron Rivera is defensive-minded. I think they'll probably end up choosing Chase Young.
Well, yeah, the possibility of taking a quarterback there is interesting. But I think they used the pick on Haskins last year, taking another one. Rivera's, of course, a new coach, and a lot of times they want a new quarterback with a new regime. But I think Chase Young's such a home run here, it'll be hard to pass up.
Yeah, I don't think they've given up on Haskins quite yet, so I think Young's going to be the pick here.
Moving on to Okuda at 3. The Detroit is very interesting in that they could go a lot of directions here. They're not complete at all, really, on the defensive side. So with stars available such as Simmons, Brown, and Okuda, it could go a lot of different directions. But after trading Slay, they've been linked the most to Okuda, and so I have him here at 3. He's a really great. He didn't run the fastest 40 time, but he's a really great prospect, and he's got all the cover skills that you would want in an NFL-style cornerback.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, I think them trading away Slay really showed that they were going to attempt to go for a cornerback as opposed to many of the other defensive players which were available. And obviously, Okuda is the best cornerback available in the draft right now.
Yeah, having a lockdown corner is so important in the league today. The one worry about Okuda is he ran a 4.48, so that's not super fast, especially for a number 1 corner, but he's a big body, he's strong, great cover skills, great ball skills.
he's 6'1", 205.
Yeah,
so
he's one of the bigger
ideal
corners.
body.
Just a bit
Size-wise.
slow, but when you look at guys like Ramsey and Gilmore, who are 2 of the premier corners in the league, they both ran 4.4 and 4.41 respectively, so he's a little bit slower, which could be concerning, but I'm pretty confident in this pick for Detroit.
Yeah. Let's move on to New York with the 4th pick. There's, I think the obvious choice at this point would be Isaiah Simmons. I feel like they're not ready to give up on the Duke guy, I forget his name.
Daniel Jones
yet, and Isaiah Simmons absolutely blew everyone away with his 40, and New York definitely, while they need work on both sides of the ball, I think especially their defense is really killer for them last season.
Their D-line, they've put some effort into that, especially under Gettleman. He likes the defensive and offensive lines. Simmons is a do-it-all prospect at 6'4", 240. He's a little undersized to play linebacker, but the 4.39 is really makes up for that in a lot of ways, because if it doesn't work out at linebacker, he possibly could move to safety. He can cover almost any position on offense, from everything from a tight end down to a running back, wide receiver, and the only things on the defense he can't play is outside corner and D tackle or D end. So he's really versatile, which is what offenses or defenses look for in the NFL today. So I think it'd be really hard for the Giants to pass him up here. They could go an offensive tackle because Nate Soldier really has been a disappointment for them, but I think they're going to not be able to pass up on Simmons at 4.
Yeah, if you watch the tape of Simmons, what stands out is just his versatility. At Clemson, you see him play in slot corner, you see him playing strong safety, free safety, inside, outside linebacker, even wide corner at some points. He's just a physical specimen, and the Giants would be lucky to get him at 4.
Yeah.
After the first 4 picks, it becomes a lot more variable because we get into the point of the second quarterbacks. Obviously, the first quarterback is Burrow at 1, but after that, there are questions about the next 3, which will be Tua, Herbert, and Jordan Love. I have Tua going 5 to Miami and Herbert going 6 to the Chargers. Tua is arguably the best quarterback in this draft when you look at his production, but he has had the hip issues and other injury issues throughout his career, and apparently Miami has been cooling off on him. We'll see if that affects their decision draft night. But with coronavirus going on and all of the inability to talk to prospects and really limiting this draft process, I think they're going to stick with Tua, who they've been following for a while. Same thing with the Chargers at 6. I could see Love at this position because they've said they wanted to go with Tyrod Taylor, and Love has arguably more potential. He has a bigger arm and a lot more like a Josh Allen. But he is 6'6", big body, can do Herbert can do anything that you want at the quarterback position. And he's had a decent amount of production in college. So I think that the Chargers will go with a quarterback here, and they'll go with Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert's...
There's no doubt. Both of them need both of those teams need quarterbacks. Herbert definitely seems less complete than Tua, but still has a bunch of upside. And I think Miami just needs the safe choice with Tua.
Yeah,
without needing, because they need a quarterback right now.
Yeah, Herbert has tons of upside, especially with Phillip Rivers departing to the Colts this offseason. Herbert's your prototypical big quarterback. He's 6'6", 10-inch hands.
Smart.
mobile, not a runner, but he can move outside the pocket, big arm. He can make all the throws. He's just going to have to work on his accuracy, obviously, which is crucial at the NFL level. But the quarterback variability is going to be an interesting part of this draft, so we'll see.
And again, Jordan Love could go on either of those picks. Probably not Miami, but he's got a big arm and arguably more potential. A lot of pro-style traits from Jordan Love.
Yeah. So moving right along to Derek Brown for Carolina. I think Carolina is another team that really needs to strengthen their defense, specifically their defensive line. So I think Derek Brown is a great pick for them. Considering he was very good D tackle at Auburn, and Carolina just doesn't really necessarily need to go for a quarterback, I don't think. Especially because they released Cam, and they can try out P.J. Walker from the XFL this season, and then they also have got Christian McCaffrey, who's a great receiver and running back. So I think they should focus more on their defense and pick Derek Brown.
Yeah, you have the two big tackles this draft in Kinlaw and Brown, but I think Brown definitely is the edge. Played at Auburn. He's a great run muncher. Just the number one tackle on the board. He can get to the passer too. Big body, versatile. Can play inside, even outside if you need him to. And I think that Carolina isn't necessarily in the need for a quarterback, and teams always like to shore up the trenches, so D-tackle is always an important position to grab.
Yeah, Carolina right now is getting older, and they're going to end up having a full rebuild on defense. They have weapons, and I think they're going to stick with Bridgewater at quarterback, like JP said. So there's not a big need on the offense. And again, they're going to be a complete rebuild on defense. The best defensive player available here is Derek Brown. And right now they're starting Woodrow Hamilton at nose tackle. So Derek Brown could fill in that slot, even though they have Kawan Short and Brian Burns on the outside from the past. Inside on the D-line could be shored up by Derek Brown here at number 7.
Yeah, next we go to 8, 9, and 10. We have 3 tackles going in a row. We have for Arizona, Tristan Wirfs out of Iowa, Jacksonville, Mekhi Becton out of Louisville, and Jedrick Wills to Cleveland out of Alabama. Tackle is such an important position, second highest paid position on average in the NFL behind quarterback. And so you really need someone protecting that quarterback's blind side. And so, Connor, you want to take over with Wirfs?
Okay, yeah. So just starting with Wirfs, he ran a 4.85 at the combine and is just really wowed people with his athleticism. All these tackles are very athletic, and that's why they're going so high. Wirfs is quick, and so the hope is that he will be able to fit in easily into the air raid style offense at Arizona. And if it doesn't work out at tackle, he could also move to the guard. Arizona really needs to shore up their offensive line for Kyler Murray, who is a mobile quarterback. And so hopefully that 4.8 time and athleticism will help him go, and that's why I have him going to Arizona. 9 to Jacksonville, I have Mekhi Becton, who is absolute beast. He ran, I believe, a 5.11 at the combine. And he's just a very large guy. So
almost 365 pounds.
Yes. You don't see that a lot at offensive tackle at the NFL, someone that size. But worst comes to worst, they could move him inside to guard. And again, need help on the offensive line. So I think that is a great pick for them.
You got to shore up that left side for Minshew, especially a young quarterback. Can't be running for his life back there.
Yeah. Lastly, at number 10, we have Jedrick Wills to the Browns. The Browns need an offensive tackle. They got help on the right-hand side by signing a right tackle this offseason, but really the biggest hole on this team still is offensive line and left tackle. Jedrick Wills, according to many, is the best tackle in this draft, so to get him at 10 would be a great thing.